Hello and welcome. I'm Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. This is the Sales Hunter podcast. And what we're going to be talking about here today specifically is how to get a prospect to respond. I'm going to share with you the 4 rules that you need to be following. And let's get going right now.
You're listening to the Sales Hunter podcast with Mark Hunter, where the focus is to help you as a sales leader sell with confidence and integrity. And now here's your host.
Hey, when it comes to closing deals, Calendly knows how important maintaining momentum is for your sales team. Calendly provides the automation you need to connect with your best leads faster and schedule every meeting throughout your sales cycle. Prevent scheduling delays that stall deals and let your team focus on what they do best, driving revenue. Request your demo of Calendly today. And we'll put the demo link in the show notes below. And you know what? Think about that. Calendly really does help you get the prospect to respond. Let's get into it. What I'm talking about right here is, hey, here's the thing. They'll respond if they believe you can help them deal with a current important issue. Now, make a note of what I just said. I didn't say anything about the product or service. That's irrelevant until they first see you as being able to create confidence in helping them solve an issue. See, here's the whole thing. It's all about helping them solve an issue, maximize an opportunity, do something that is current and relevant to them. And see, notice that's also what I did say. I used the word current because it's not good enough to just have something that will help them. You have to absolutely have something that is a priority to them, because if it's not a priority to them, why would they want to respond to you? I get requests all the time from people. Great email, great prospecting, great things. But you know what? It's not current to what I'm working on. And if it's not current to what I'm working on, I just don't have time for them. So you have to make it current. And you have to. Now, let's dig in. Let's talk about the 4 rules, because I said, what are the 4 rules of generating a response? You're going to want to write these down. Now, if you're driving the New Jersey Turnpike, don't write them down. Just hit replay and memorize them. Number 1, it's got to be hyper-targeted. It's got to be hyper-targeted. Hyper-targeted means on them, not on you. Number 2, it's got to be personally focused. That means you got to know them. Does that mean you have to know them personally? No, but you have to know something about them or their business. 3, it's got to be time sensitive. And when I mean time sensitive it's got to be time sensitive on multiple levels. Here's what I mean. It's got to be time sensitive in that it's got to be that current I talked about earlier, where they need to get a response, that they need to get something fixed now. But it also needs to be time sensitive in that they know you are not going to waste their time. And the 4th one is confidence in you. You see, at the end of the day, remember, the customer's got plenty of opportunities to buy from any number of different people. And guess what? If you want them to even respond to you, they have to feel like there's a level of confidence they can have with you. So those are the 4 rules of generating a response. Let's walk through now. What is it that we say? Here's the whole thing. I'm going to give you a list of things. And again, you can write these down or you can play it again. But you want to, the number 1 thing is play off of something they shared with you earlier. Was there an earlier conversation? That conversation may go back even a year or 2. But you know what? Play off of it. What I have found is if I can repeat back to somebody something they shared with me specifically, whether it be in a text, whether it be in an email, whether it be on a phone call, guess what? It demonstrates, wow, this person, Mark, actually remembers me, and Mark is showing interest in what I have to say. So that's the number 1 thing. But okay, we'll say you don't have that. That's okay. Is there something that they posted of relevance, current relevance, on social media? But hold it. Here's the thing. Have you established social relationship with them first? This is so key. Again, I'll do a whole separate episode on social media, so I'm not going to run down that path. But here's the next one. Company news. What company news have they announced? What company news are they? What's going on in their company? Next thing, industry news. Is there something going on in the industry or association that they belong to or many others in their industry belong to? You've got customers, well, not your customers, their customers. What are their customers doing that is of relevance to them? Two, or I should say about number 5 or 6, supply chain. Supply chain. What's going on in the supply chain? Now, I'm not talking again about your supply chain, but what's going on overall in the supply chain that, again, it may be of relevance to them. Remember, right now, we're still in this whole hyper stretched supply chain period of time. So guess what? It makes it relevant. What's happening with competitors? Their competitors. Have their competitors announced something? Are their competitors doing something? Now, I'm not talking about being negative Nelly to them. What I am talking about is calling out to them, hey, I see where they're doing this and we can help you with this. You see, what is it that we say? It's playing off of something that is tight and magical with them. Now, let's get into the real magic. The real magic is in the phrases that you use. And this is regardless of whether it's on a phone call, whether it be in a voicemail, or whether it be in an email. Here are some ways that I love to start off great prospecting phrases that are going to get the prospect to respond. You mentioned. Now, think about that. You mentioned. Perfect way. And then ... You add in what it is that you want to share. What's your opinion? Again, you're coming right out and asking them a question. Another one, looking at the calendar. How do you intend to deal with X? See this? Now, that's current, that's relevant, that's timely. Or how about this one? Your competitor recently, boom. Or how about this one? Your customers are doing blank. Or how about this one? We just did blank. You see, what I did there was I just gave you a list of ways to start off the conversation. Ways to start off the conversation. Why? Because here's the whole thing. If I don't engage you quickly, I lose you. And see, it isn't about saying, oh, wow, hey, I'm so wonderful. I can do this, this, and this, and this. No. They have a problem. They don't know who you are. Now, here's the whole situation. Let me kind of give you some never rules. One is never follow up with the same message. Never. Okay. Here's the whole thing. How many times have you received an email that somebody says, hey, I'm not sure if you saw this, so I'm sending it to you again. Well, excuse me. Now you're really wasting my time. You see, I never, ever want to send the same message twice. And this is the same way, whether it be in a text message, whether it be in a social media message, whether it be in an email, whatever it might be. No. Now, it can be the same topic. It can be the same general perspective, but it's never going to be word for word the same. You see, here's the whole thing. My whole goal is to be able to approach you with multiple pieces of information. See, this is why I went through that whole list right up front where I was talking about what is it that we say, because there's plenty of ways to find information. And the magic phrases allows you to start off differently. You see, here's the whole thing. Getting the prospect to respond. They'll respond if you engage with them. Let me share with you just a couple quick final pieces as we begin to close here. And that is, hey, is there a mutual connection? Is there a mutual connection or a common interest that you have? Hey, don't hesitate. Throw that out on the table. But here's the whole thing what it comes down to. Never stop believing you can help them. The biggest thing between those at the top and everyone else is they believe. You see, here's the whole thing. Prospecting is the start of the selling process. Prospecting is not selling. Prospecting is about creating a relationship, creating the next step from which you can begin to sell. Here's what it comes down to very simply. If you believe that you can help someone, you owe it to them to reach out to them. Hey, what you've been listening to is the Sales Hunter podcast. Every Monday, we come at you with a new episode. And every Thursday, we come at you with an episode where I interview somebody. And let me share with you right now. I want to say thanks for listening and thank you, Calendly, for sponsoring today's show and continuing to help sales teams focus on driving revenue. Prevent scheduling delays that stall deals and let your team focus on what they do best, driving revenue. Request your demo of Calendly today. Great live audience today from all over, whether it be Dallas, Seattle, Oregon, UAE, Montreal, Canada. You're great. Hey, my name's Mark Hunter, the Sales Hunter. Great selling.